Hello, this video will instruct you how to make an 8-inch mermaid inspired mini flower using the Under the Sea mini flower bundle with the mermaid pattern. So you're going to cut all the petals as outlined in the table in the image at the beginning of the video or saved on my Facebook page in the 2022 Crafting Happy Hour Instructions photo album. So simply add craft glue to the back of the mermaid pattern petals and glue them to the solid ones. Now I did use a border for my solid ones, so I did cut them a little bit larger than the mermaid pattern. That's totally optional. I was just doing a different look to the flower this time. When you purchase the mini flower bundle, I do provide sample flowers and sizes to make. Once I add the craft glue and press it down, I like to use a brayer to make sure the glue's all adhered on the entire petal. So again, I'm just using craft glue, going in between each row. To attach the mermaid pattern to the solid back layer. I like to use Barely Arts craft glue. And then place it evenly on the solid layer. Once you're happy with the placement, press it down, and then again I like to go over it with the brayer. And I keep them stacked from largest to smallest. So now we're going to take our scissors and cut in between each petal. And this allows us to roll our petals a little bit deeper with our dowel rods. So just don't cut off the petals, but cut generously into the center because it does have a large center. Again, cut into, so I stack them by size and then cut into it because some of them, only the two largest are the same size, so I cut them at the same time. The rest I do individually. Okay, for the center we're using the solid colored petals, and again you're going to cut them according to the instruction document, and then you're going to also cut into the center of these. Just be careful because these are smaller. I'm just cutting into the center slightly without cutting my petals off. Now that we cut into all the centers, now we're going to roll the petals up with our dowel rods. Now here I use the 1/2 inch dowel rod. However, on my Facebook tutorial, I did use the 3/4 inch and it seemed to work a lot easier because it is wider and these petals are so wide. So just place your dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up and roll it as best as you can. Again, I do recommend the 3/4 inch dowel rod for these larger petals. And I am rolling both of the 7.5 inch tall petals at once. I'm sorry, 8 inch. And all the petals are going to be rolled up, and you're going to use your dowel rods to roll all the petals up. So definitely for the 7-inch one, I would use the 1/2 inch dowel rod. I used a little bling here, and I used the Paper Flowers paper pack by Recollections from Michaels, and it does come with a gold foil in that same paper pack. So I combined the orange from the paper pack and the gold foil, because every mermaid wants to shine bright. And you can use the 3/8 dowel rod. For the 4.5-inch one. You can see I place the dowel rod down in the middle of the petal, thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up and roll. Pinch it up and roll. Now we're going to roll the smaller petals for our center as well. Here you can use the 1/4 inch, the 3/16, and the 1/8 inch for your 3 sizes of petals. So as the petal sizes get smaller, your dowel rod size will decrease as well. So thumb on top, index finger underneath, pinch it up and roll. Then I went to the 1/8 inch dowel rod, pinch it up and roll. I'm rolling 3 of them at one time of the 2-inch petal. Now it's time to assemble our flowers, so get your flower shaping mat out, your metal ball stylus tools. We flip over the petals, and for the very first layer I'm not going to roll the center. Now because I'm using gold foil, it is a little bit more difficult to roll the paper, but you can still roll it around as you saw I was doing. And then you can bend up the petals if you need to. So those are the 2 larger petals at 8 inches. Add glue to the back of one of them that you rolled the center on. Place it in between the petals of the first layer and press down and make sure it's adhered. And I like to roll the center to make sure that glue attaches. Take your next size, which is the 6 inch, roll the center as best you can. Sometimes it gets a film on and it doesn't like to roll. Of course, you don't have to use gold foil paper. You can use any color. Add your glue. I like to keep rotating my flower and place the petals in between the previous layers. I like to rotate it, so I try and keep my petals evenly on my flower in the center. Roll that center again with your metal ball stylus on a flower shaping mat. It lifts up the petals, and if you need to, you can lift them up yourself. Add some hot glue. If you didn't rotate your flower, do it now. Place your petals in between the previous layers, so try and stand directly over top of your flower. Roll the center to make sure it adheres. Add your glue for the last layer of the pattern paper. Rotate your flower if you haven't done so. Place your petals in between the previous layers, petals, and press. Try and keep it centered in the center there. Roll your center. She's so sparkly. Now we're going to create our center using the solid layer petals. So starting from the 2 largest, you can roll the centers with your metal ball stylus on your flower shaping mat. Add glue and place the petals in between the previous layers. So we're building this outside of the flower. Okay, take your two 2.5-inch petals, roll your centers with your metal ball stylus, add glue, place it in between the previous layer's petals, and press. Watch it doesn't shift around on you because you were placing glue in the same exact spot. You can cup up the petals, add some hot glue, and place them in between the previous layers, and make sure you're rotating your flower. And then for the last three, which are 2 inches, we're going to roll all the centers so the petals really stand up. And we're going to create our center for this mini flower outside of there. So fold each petal up in front of the previous one. And then you're going to twist it slightly. Add some hot glue and place it in between the petals of the previous layer. So you're adding it into the second 2-inch. Fold up the petals around the center. Add some hot glue. Place it in between the petals, best you can. Fold up the petals around. Twist it again. Add some hot glue. Place it in the middle, in between the previous layer's petals, and then you can fluff it out slightly. Now when we hot glue this into the center, you're going to see those petals are going to lift up. So I did it automatically in my hand, added the glue, and now you're going to place those petals in between the previous layer's petals. Try and get it in the center. I know I got mine off a little off center, and I did correct it. She's beautiful and sparkly.